Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, children. What are your exams?
Good, ma'am.
Good. All of you good? Very good. What?
Very good, ma'am.
Very good, ma'am.
What about your bio exam?
That was very good.
Oh,
Great.
that was very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Okay. You know, 7 of you have got full marks in MCQs. I was really happy to see 7 students have got full marks in MCQ part in the chapters. Okay, the theoretical part I have not yet checked entirely, so it will take me some time to check. But anyways, the MCQ part. Okay, beta. Today we are going to start with a very simple coordination and integration. Before I start with this, tell me, what do you mean by the word coordination? Anybody, please tell me. What do you mean by coordination? If you can't give the definition, then try and give an example of coordination.
Ma'am, working together in a coordinated manner.
Excellent, excellent. Like we often take up the examples of school, class board, making a class board. You generally coordinate with each other. How do you coordinate? I'll get a chart paper, you get the colors, I'll get the markers. So this is working with harmony, working with cooperation, assigning work. This you will do, this I will do. This is what we call as coordination. And what do you mean by integration? Any example of integration anybody can give me?
Ma'am, joining something.
Joining something. Again, we can take up the same example of your class notice boards. You coordinate with each other. There's a group of 5 students. You do this, you do this, you do this. And finally, what you do is you integrate. Whatever you have collected, you put them together, you combine them, and you display them. So we are going to study how all these things happen in the human body. Chemical coordination and what are we going to study about? Integration. Let us study about a very important branch of biology that is called endocrinology. Okay? Try and guess out if you know what is endocrinology. Does anybody, have you ever heard about this word, children? Anyone?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Beta, there is no punishment for giving wrong answers. Then why don't you try? Have you heard about the doctors?
Study of hormones.
Study of hormones. Okay. Others, please give your opinion also.
Study of endocrine glands.
Okay. See, the best answer I got was no doubt the study of hormones. We know that hormones are very important, beta. They control your mood, they control your growth, they control your sleep also. So, this is a very important branch of biology which is known as endocrinology. And we have special doctors who treat all the diseases which are related to hormones. If any person has a disease related to hormones, then we go to special doctors. What are these doctors called?
I'm an endocrinologist.
Excellent. Very good. I'm very happy with this endocrinologist. Have you ever heard about some endocrinologist in Bareilly?
Not yet.
Not yet. So you know who is an endocrinologist? A person who's going to deal with all the diseases which are related to the functioning and production of hormones. And endocrinologist is a doctor who deals with these kind of things. That is any diseases related to this. We have a very famous doctor. If you know, you heard about him, I think Dr. Sharad Agarwal. He is one of the best endocrinologists in Bareilly. Have you heard of Dr. Sharad Agarwal?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, but he's physician or Endocrinologist.
Because his specialization is in endocrinology. Then we have one more doctor, that is Dr. Sushobhit Verma. He is somewhere near that, I don't know, Narayanchal complex, if you've seen or not. This person, Dr. Sharad Agarwal, is somewhere near Sood Dharamkata. And
Yes,
why
I'm
I'm mentioning about Dr. Sharad Agarwal, this person who's near Sood Dharamkata, because this person had recently got some award also. So basically, we have three big endocrinologists in Bareilly. Their names are very common. One is Dr. Sushobhit Verma. He specializes in diabetes. Would you consider diabetes related to an endocrinology disease?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm less level of insulin.
Yes. So if a person has diabetes, they'll generally go and consult these doctors. What about thyroid disorders?
Yes, ma'am. That's true.
Yes,
Loss
yes.
of iodine.
Okay, very
Yes,
good. Then there are some disorders due to hormones not properly produced during pregnancy also. So these kind of disorders are also there. Have you seen some abnormally obese children, small children who are abnormally obese? What is obese? What do you mean by obese? First tell me.
Overweight.
हाँ बेटा, बहुत ज्यादा ही मोटे, extraordinary मोटा होना, children look good, healthy, but बहुत ज्यादा obese, बहुत ज्यादा मोटे होते, that is an abnormality. So that is known as childhood obesity. It is generally caused due to deficiency of a particular vitamin and all. So we go for these kind of diseases. I hope endocrinology everybody knows. Tell me, what is endocrinology quickly?
And the branch of biology that deals with the change in hormones.
Excellent. And the doctors who deal with diseases which are related to endocrinology?
Endocrinologist.
Endocrinologist.
Excellent. Endocrinologists. Let's study now. Endocrine glands and their hormones. The endocrine glands are ductless glands. Why do we call them as ductless glands?
They do not secrete their hormones in duct.
Okay. They do not have specific ducts in which the hormones will be secreted. तो कहाँ जाते हैं बेटा? Then where do the secretions go if they don't have a duct?
Directly into the blood.
Excellent. Directly into the blood, and from there they go to the site of the action or the targeted organ जहाँ भी उनको जाना है. These secretions are called hormones, and the other name of hormones are internal secretion. Why do you think hormones are called internal secretion? Anybody? Why hormones are called internal secretions?
Produced by
Because they are internally transported from one to another.
Yes, they are produced inside the body, internal organs of the body. That is why we call them as internal secretions. The first paragraph has nothing much important. It is simply that endocrine glands are which kind of glands, children?
Ductless.
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 So they don't have ducts. Very good. They don't have ducts. If they don't have ducts, then the secretions are directly going where?
In the blood.
into the blood.
bloodstream. Answer. So they go directly into the blood. Blood, they go into the targeted organs, wherever they have to go. What is the other name for hormones?
Internal
Internal
secretion. Internal
Internal
secretion.
secretion.
Yes, they are known as internal secretions because they are secreted inside the body. Let's go further and study a little more about hormones, beta. Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. They don't give you any nutrition. सबसे पहले तो ये याद रखिए. When we talk about vitamins, minerals, they help you in some kind of nutrition. But hormones, they are non-nutrient chemicals. They will not give you any nutrients. They are produced in trace amounts. What do you mean by trace amounts?
Very small amount.
Very
I'm large.
limited
Cannot be identified.
Very small
हाँ बेटा,
amount.
very very small, बहुत ही कम, very small amount, trace amounts. Okay, and they act as intercellular messengers. Intercellular, from one cell to the other cell. They are going to act as messengers also. So three keywords which you need to remember about hormones. सबसे पहला, they are non-nutrient chemicals. Number two, they are found as intercellular messengers. What act like? They act as intercellular messengers. Very quickly tell me the keywords related to hormone. Which is the first keyword, Pragya? Beta, remove this from the screen. By mistake, I think this is happening. Okay. Tell me, beta, first keyword for this. Which kind of chemical are hormones?
Nutrient.
Non-nutrient.
Remember that
Non-nutrient.
happened by mistake.
And in how much amount are they produced?
Trace amount.
Yes.
Traces.
And they're also known as, what messengers are they?
Intercellular messenger.
Intercellular, not interorganisms. मतलब they can send messages from one cell to the other, but same body के अंदर. It is not that from one person to another they do not do this. That is why they are known as intercellular messengers. Now, the organized endocrine glands secrete a number of new molecules in addition to hormones. अभी तक हम लोग क्या सुनते हैं? We just said कि endocrine glands produce hormones. But beta, endocrine glands not only produce hormones, they also produce number of new molecules. Vertebrates have large number of chemicals acting as hormones that provide coordination, while invertebrates have very simple endocrine system. Now let us compare the difference of endocrine system between vertebrates and invertebrates. Beta, vertebrates are highly coordinated organisms. तो यहाँ पे we have more number of hormones. यहाँ पे ज़्यादा होते हैं hormones. And invertebrates में they are very simple organisms. So the endocrine system is very simple. So very few hormones are secreted. Let's move on to the second paragraph now. Is the endocrine system of vertebrates and invertebrates the same?
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Very good. Where we have more hormones secreted, in vertebrates or in the invertebrates?
Vertebrates.
Invertebrates.
Yes. Now we come to excellent beta. I want you to please respond, all of you. Now we come on to some important general awareness things in this. ये थोड़ा सा rote learning वाला chapter है जहाँ पे आपको रटना पड़ेगा. That is why मैं आपको I'm trying simultaneously कि यहीं पे learn हो जाए. The first hormone was discovered by William M. Bayliss. Try to learn the name with me. William M. हटा दो बेशक. Bayliss. B-A-Y-B-L-I-S-S. Bayliss. Tell me the first person's name, the first hormone to be discovered. Name the person.
William Bailey.
William M. Bayliss.
And another person with him, Ernest Starling. Ernest Starling. Name the second person also.
Ernest Starling.
Ernest Starling.
Why I am doing this with you is that this is a learning wala chapter. So try and learn with me here only. The first hormone was discovered by two people together. William Bayliss, Ernest Starling, and the year was 1903. Now very quickly tell me two people who discovered the first hormone.
William M.
Bayliss and Ernest Starling.
Starling.
And which year it was?
1903.
1903.
So it is not many years. It's something recent only, not many years if we talk about biology. Let's move on to the second thing now. Endocrinology is the study of endocrine glands and the hormones secreted by them. So if I say what is endocrinology, basically you're going to study about endocrine glands, and endocrine glands में भी क्या पढ़ेंगे? Like what are the hormones which are secreted by them? Not the basic structure, we are going to study about hormones. Define endocrinology, everybody.
It is the study of endocrine glands and hormones.
Endocrinology is the study of endocrine glands and the hormones secreted by
Now
them.
let me very quickly take up the first page revision with you. Endocrine glands are which kind of glands, children?
Ductless gland.
Ductless.
Ductless. So they don't pour their secretions into ducts. So where do the secretions go?
Blood.
Directly
In blood.
into the surrounding blood.
Directly into the blood. The secretions are also, the hormones are also the secretions or hormones. They're known as other name?
Internal
Intercell.
secretion.
Good, internal secretions. I told you three keywords to remember about hormones. Number one was
Non-nutrient.
Non-nutrient.
non-nutrient. Number two, in how much amount are they found?
Trace amounts.
And also known as which messengers?
Intercellular.
Intercellular messengers. Very good, beta. Then we compare the endocrine system of vertebrates and invertebrates, the number of hormones produced in both of them. In which one the number of hormones produced were more?
Vertebrates.
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 Okay. Now name the two people who made the first hormone, discovered the first hormone.
William Bayliss.
Bayliss and Ernest Starling.
Excellent. And which year it was?
1903.
1903.
And last thing on this page, define endocrinology.
It's the
Of endocrine glands and hormones secreted by them.
Yes, very good. So I hope the first page, the introductory part is okay for everybody. Now we'll go into a little more details about this chapter. We are going to study about the human endocrine system. I told you there's a lot of difference between vertebrates and invertebrates. अब जल्दी से बताइए, humans you will put in which category? Vertebrates or invertebrates?
Vertebrates.
Vertebrates.
तो vertebrate हैं तो number of hormones will be more or less रहेंगे बेटा?
More.
हमने already पढ़ लिया था, क्या पढ़ा था? That vertebrates we have more number of hormones, invertebrates we have less number of hormones. So human beings are put in which category? Vertebrate or invertebrates?
Vertebrates.
Why do we put them in vertebrates? Anyone?
Because they have spinal cord.
Okay. So the number of hormones produced will be less or there would be more?
More.
So the endocrine system will be well developed or less developed?
Well developed.
Well developed.
Very well developed. Very good. Very well developed. Very good children. Very good response. चलो आगे पढ़ते हैं. Human endocrine system. The human endocrine system constitutes the endocrine glands and the hormones. Same definition. The one जो अभी पढ़ी थी बेटा endocrinology. Endocrinology में I told you दो चीजें हम study करेंगे. Endocrine glands and hormones. So we are going to study about the endocrine glands and hormone producing diffuse tissues or cells which are located in different parts of our body. So what are we going to study? We are going to study about all the cells, all the glands जो क्या produce करते हैं, those which produce hormones. In endocrine system, the hormone from one gland may stimulate or inhibit the another endocrine gland. This is very interesting. देखो बेटा, hormone from one gland. Supposing you have two glands nearby, A and B. ठीक है, इसको ऐसे समझ लेते हैं. You have two glands very close to each other in the human body. First वाली gland को I have given the name A. The second gland is gland B. Now, the A वाला gland is secreting a hormone. Very interestingly क्या होगा? The product which is secreted by the first hormone, वो अपने neighboring gland को या तो stimulate करेगा. Stimulate means it will activate कि come on, you also produce a hormone. और वो बिल्कुल उल्टा काम करेगा. It will inhibit the other endocrine gland. It will stop the neighboring endocrine gland to secrete hormones. Okay? So understand this line. Hormone from one gland may stimulate or inhibit the another endocrine gland. ठीक है बेटा? Let us do one more time. We have two glands very close to each other in the human body. A gland को I have given a name A. Neighboring gland was what?
B.
B. Okay. So secretion produced by gland A. इसको ऐसे ही ले लेते हैं. 9th A and 9th B, for example. The 9th A has prepared their notice boards very nicely. So 9th B will also get motivated. Oh, इन्होंने इतना अच्छा करा, let me also do it. 9th B भी बहुत अच्छे से करेगा. So this is stimulating or inhibiting?
Stimulating.
This is stimulating. 9th B ने कुछ भी नहीं करा. Newspaper cuttings लगा दी and then the class teacher 9th B says, children, come on, बनाओ, do this. What will the children say? Sir, उन्होंने कुछ नहीं करा. Why should we do? हम भी कुछ नहीं करते. So this is stimulating or this is inhibiting?
Inhibiting.
Inhibiting. So neighbors are affecting the activity. This is stimulating or inhibiting. But neighbors in a sense, 9th B can be influenced by 9th A children. But 9th B cannot be influenced by class 1A. Why? Why not 1A?
They are far away.
Yes, beta, they are far away from each other. Very good. Normally, they are far away or they are not related to each other at all. Class 1 and class 9. So what are we understanding with this line? In endocrine system, the hormone from one gland may stimulate, matlab, or activate karega that you also start producing more in amount, or it may inhibit another endocrine gland. And different endocrine glands vary in structure. What do you mean by vary?
Different structure.
They are different structure.
Very good. Different endocrine glands have different structures. Now we're going to discuss about endocrine glands in the humans, The endocrine glands are of following two types of humans. In humans, when we talk about beta, there are two types of endocrine glands. One is a pure endocrine gland and second is a partial endocrine gland. Partial मतलब क्या होता है?
Half.
Not complete.
Not completely. Not completely.
Yes, not completely. We say na partially permeable. We have done this word. Partially मतलब थोड़ा थोड़ा, not completely. So how many kinds of endocrine glands are there in the humans? How many types?
Two types.
Two types. Name the two types of endocrine glands in humans.
Pure endocrine
endocrine
glands and
glands
partial
and
endocrine
endocrine
glands.
Partial endocrine
Pure
gland.
endocrine and partial endocrine. Pure endocrine, let us see. Pure endocrine, see beta, when I talk about endocrine system, I told you कि main work endocrine system का एक ही है, जो main function है, that is secretion of hormones. तो जो अपना काम बिल्कुल entirely जो अपना काम है बस वही करेगा, that is it. Entire work उसका एक ही है, जो उसका original work है, that is secretion of hormones. Then such a gland will be known as which kind of a gland? It's a pure endocrine gland. क्योंकि endocrine gland का function एक ही है originally and that is secretion of hormones. So अगर gland सिर्फ अपना ही काम कर रहा है, entire work सिर्फ यही कर रहा है और कोई काम नहीं कर रहा है extra. Okay? That is endocrine function it is performing. So they are known as, they are entirely involved in secretion of hormones. They are known as pure endocrine. At least 2-3 examples you should remember. The hypothalamus, the pituitary, the pineal, the thyroid, the adrenal, the pancreas, the parathyroid, thymus glands and gonads. We are going to take each of them in details later in the chapter. So don't worry. Jaldi se. What is a pure endocrine gland? Tell me. Those which work for
Secretion of hormones.
Secretion of hormones.
Secretion of hormones.
hormones. Excellent. Excellent. Give me 3 examples of pure endocrine glands.
Hypothalamus, thyroid,
Hypothalamus,
Pineal, pituitary, pancreas, parathyroid.
Once again, the definition of a pure endocrine gland.
the glands which entirely
Those
work for
glands
secretion of hormones.
Very good.
They
If you
entirely
see
work
this-
for the secretion of hormones.
Yes, beta. And the second kind of glands, I told you the heading also. What is the second type of glands that we have, endocrine glands?
Partial.
Partial endocrine.
Partially. Partially, you already told me the meaning, not entirely or not completely. So look at this definition. They're partly endocrine and partly exocrine in function. Okay? Matlab, what do you mean by exocrine? Have you ever heard about an exocrine gland? Give me any example of an exocrine gland.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Tell me.
Pancreas.
Human body में any exocrine gland in the human body.
Pancreas.
Salivary glands.
Salivary glands, very good. और बताइए बेटा, very good, बहुत अच्छे. Tell me more examples of exocrine. देखो बेटा, जिसका secretion epithelial surface पे भी आ जाए, outer surface पे, okay? Any gland whose secretion comes to the epithelial surface, of course by the way of duct, they are known as exocrine glands.
Not
Abhi I
sweat
just got an
gland.
example. Sweat gland, excellent. Because
Sebe-
that secretion comes to the
Sebaceous gland.
surface. Sebaceous glands, too good, very good. What do they secrete, beta? Sebaceous glands?
Oil.
Excellent. Mammary glands, what will they secrete?
Milk.
Milk.
Milk. Mucus glands, nose में होते हैं mucus, they secrete mucus. We have got mucus glands at times. So पहले समझ लो, exocrine glands are those glands that secrete a substance on the even on the epithelial surface by way of a duct. अंदर से एक duct आता है, that means a pipe-like structure by which the secretions will come to the epithelial surface. सबसे common easiest ones जो हमें याद रहते हैं बेटा, they are sweat glands, salivary glands, mammary glands and sebaceous glands. Lot of times you feel कि skin पे बहुत oil आ रहा है. My skin is becoming very oily. What is this happening? Your glands are giving the secretion which is coming to the epithelial layer of your body, that is the skin. Similarly, beta, salivary glands, you've got mammary glands, then sebaceous glands, sweat glands. So these are 4 common examples of exocrine glands. So those endocrine glands, those glands which are partially endocrine and partially exocrine, kidneys, gastrointestinal tract, heart and placenta. बेटा सबसे पहले give me 4 examples of pure endocrine glands.
Hypothalamus, pituitary, female, thyroid, pancreas.
Pancreas, parathyroid, thymus.
Parathyroid.
Very good. Now give me examples, 4 examples of pure exocrine glands.
Salivary glands,
Salivary gland,
mammary
Salivary
glands,
gland, sweat gland, mammary gland, mucus gland.
Okay. They are known as exocrine because their secretions through a duct reach which layer or which surface?
epithelial layer.
Epithelial layer. You have just given me 4 examples of exocrine glands. Now give me examples of glands which are partially endocrine and partially exocrine.
Pancreas, gonads.
testis,
Yes. Very good. Beta, very few students are speaking. What happened? What happened, beta? Everybody please speak out. You should know what it is. Very quickly, very quickly. Tell me. 4 examples of pure endocrine glands.
Hypothalamus, pituitary gland,
Pituitary
pineal
gland,
gland,
pineal
adrenal
gland,
gland,
adrenal gland,
pancreas.
pancreas,
Good. 4
Parathyroid.
examples of excellent. 4 examples of pure exocrine glands.
sweat glands, salivary glands, mammary glands,
mammary gland,
mucus
mucus
glands.
gland.
Good. And 4 examples were partial this and partial that. Partial exo, partial endo.
Pancreas,
Kidneys,
Kidneys, heart,
kidneys,
placenta.
heart glands.
gastrointestinal tract.
Good. So you know a bit about the difference between exocrine gland and the difference between a endocrine gland and then partial endocrine glands. Children, now I want you to see something very nicely on the figure which is given. Let me talk about the first gland on the brain wala part. Just see very quickly. Can you see the glands? Beta, how will you learn this? It's very simple. We can think about the human body. Let's divide the entire human body into 3 parts. The first is the head part. Then we'll take the middle part and then we'll go to the lower part. So we are going to count how many places we need to learn, how many glands. This way you will not miss out on any one. When I talk about the head, we will remember about 3. The hypothalamus, the pituitary and the pineal. HPP. What is the formula for head?
HPP.
HPP. H stands for
Hypothalamus.
hypothalamus. And what are the other 2 P's?
Pineal
Gland and
pituitary
pituitary gland.
So how many glands we've already made in the human body ka first part, that is head wala part, upar wala part. How many?
3 glands.
3. What was the formula? What was the formula?
HPP squared.
HPP.
Okay, Abhi just learn the names. I'll discuss about each of them. I'll tell you about all of them. Don't worry about that. Abhi to we are just learning ki how we'll remember ki sab yaad rahe, we don't miss out on anything. Now the head part is done. So what is the part which connects your head to the rest part of your body?
Piece of
Neck,
Neck. Very good. It is basically your neck. So very good, beta. Ab neck pe chalte hain. We have here, this is another gland over here. If you can see on the neck region, this is thyroid and parathyroid gland. TP gland we call it as TP. Thyroid, parathyroid. What does TP stand for?
Thyroid and parathyroid.
So I divided the entire body. First, यहाँ से cut मार लेते हैं. Supposing we are murdering some statue, not an individual. Of course, I would give an example. Supposing यहाँ से हमने एक cardboard का human बनाया, and हमने यहाँ से बेटा उसको cut कर दिया. यहाँ से cut कर दिया, so I am getting only this part, ऊपर वाला head part. So when I cut my head part, what was the formula for the glands?
HPP.
HPP. What is the full form for HPP?
Hypothalamus,
pituitary,
pineal gland and pituitary gland.
Now this part is separated. ये cut होके अलग हो गया. अब मैं यहाँ से study करना start करूँगी. My throat part से I'll start. What was the formula for throat?
TP.
टीपी ग्लैंड और पीटी, जो आपको अच्छा लगता है, आपको स्पोर्ट्स अच्छी लगती है, आप इसको पीटी ग्लैंड भी बोल सकते हो, पैराथायरॉइड एंड थायराइड, whatever is easy for you to remember. TP बोलो, PT बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो, it's entirely your choice. Okay? Why? It is you who can remember it in an easier way. अब देखो बेटा, ये वाले पार्ट से मैंने स्टार्ट किया, फर्स्ट ऊपर वाला पार्ट ये कट हो गया. So this long rod like structure, can you see? ये दिख रहा है, long one. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is going like
Yes,
this. So
ma'am.
ऊपर वाला part is your PT. ऊपर वाला part is your PT or TP, जो भी आप बोलना चाहो. And the part where it is finishing, this is your thymus gland. What is it called? Thymus gland. So it's all on you. आप TPT याद रखो या आप PT square याद रखो. Decide one formula the entire class. You want to make it PT square or you want to make it TPT?
TP.
Hmm?
PT square.
PT square.
चलो PT square easy है, तो चलो PT square रखते हैं. अगर हम इस वाले पार्ट में PT square फॉर्मूला बनाते हैं तो मींस पैराथायरॉइड एंड थायरॉइड यहाँ पे आ गया, एंड जो सेकंड वाला T है दैट इज योर थाइमस ग्लैंड. अब बहुत इजी है बेटा टू रिमेम्बर. सी दिस वाज द एंटायर बॉडी, आई कट द बॉडी फ्रॉम हियर, सिर्फ इतना पार्ट लिया, थ्रोट वाला. हाउ मेनी ग्लैंड्स विल आई गेट इन द हेड पार्ट?
3.
What was the formula? What was the formula बेटा?
HPP.
HPP और HP square. अगर आप स्क्वायर्स में लर्न कर रहे हो तो ऐसे बना लो, इट विल बी इजियर. HP square. अब ये वाला पार्ट तो कट कर दिया, इट इज डन, दिस इज सेपरेटेड. अब यहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे, यहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे तो वील गेट अ ग्लैंड हियर, ये लंबा वाला शेप. व्हाट वाज द फॉर्मूला फॉर हियर?
PT square.
PT square.
PT square.
That means your parathyroid and thyroid, that is PT, and the second T was your thymus gland. चलिए बेटा, ये वाला पार्ट शोल्डर से हम नीचे आ रहे हैं, वी आर कमिंग डाउन. दिस इज ऑलमोस्ट द एब्डोमेन से थोड़ा सा ऊपर वाले पार्ट पे आ गए. You know here, you can see very clearly, you got PA. What are you getting? PT square था ना ऊपर. What is the formula you used in this?
PT square.
PT square.
तो P को वापस लेकर के आइए P. And now A says कि मुझे तो छोड़ दिया, आप T लेकर के आ रहे हो. So let's have a simple formula PA. What is the next formula we have? PA. Your
PA.
pancreas and your adrenal gland. What do PA stand? What does PA stand for?
Pancreas and adrenal.
Pancreas and adrenal gland.
एंड लोअर एब्डोमेन में तो कोई फॉर्मूला बनाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. यू नो आइदर ऑफ दिस, या ये होगा या ये होगा. सो यू कैन राइट ओवरीज इन फीमेल्स एंड टेस्टिस इन मेल्स. लोअर एब्डोमेन पार्ट वी डोंट नीड टू मेक एनी फॉर्मूला, इट्स वेरी सिंपल टू रिमेम्बर. सो बेसिकली वी हैव गॉट थ्री फॉर्मूलाज. वी गॉट HP square, then you had PT square, and you had a PA. Very quickly I'll discuss with you, then I'll make this picture disappear and then you will tell me very quickly. I have cut from here, my dear children. सिर्फ head part बचा है. Head part में how many glands?
3.
3.
What is the formula?
HPP square.
HP square, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal. Now after I have cut, यहाँ से इनका सर अलग हो गया है. So we are coming to this part now. Okay, what was the formula for this? ये neck वाले part से start करके.
PT square.
PT
PT
square.
square. PT stands for parathyroid, thyroid, and the next T was your thymus gland. And then हम और थोड़ा सा ऊपर lower abdomen, it was PA. P stands for pancreas, A stands for adrenal gland, and last में the lower abdomen, we know it is ovaries and testes. Can we count quickly how many in the head region, children?
3.
3.
How many in the neck region here?
3.
3.
3.
Excellent. And how many over here?
2.
2. And how many over here?
1.
1.
Actually individual में 1, of course you're right, but हम लोग draw करते समय जब बनाएंगे तो we need to count them as 2 because हमें दोनों दिखाने हैं. But of course it is 1 only. So total becomes 10. So if you are drawing the location of different endocrine glands, how many glands you have to draw? You don't have to miss out on one also. How many you will be drawing?
10.
Chalo, I am going to hide this person now. Ye chup gaye. Let's hide it now. Yes, let's start now. I'm cutting the human entire body. पहले मैंने head अलग कर दिया. What are the 3 glands you will find in the head?
Hypothalamus, pineal and pituitary.
Very good. What was the formula? Too good.
HPP.
P square.
Now you can keep imagining. I have cut the head part, so throat start to gaya. Throat neck part is long. So
PT
pura
square.
neck long means we have a
PT
long
square.
line.
PT square.
Name them, beta. Formula name.
Thyroid,
Parathyroid and thymus gland.
Excellent. Now we go down lower abdomen. So thoda sa upar we had two more glands.
Pancreas and
Pancreas
adrenal gland.
and adrenal.
Excellent, beta. So finally, what we have done is the lower two. Lower abdomen mein how many we have?
Ovaries and testes. Ovaries or testes.
So you have given me exactly the correct thing. Very good. I'm taking a very quick revision of what we have done today. We know that we have endocrine glands. What is the nature of endocrine glands? Are they ductless glands or they have ducts?
Ductless glands.
Ductless glands. So where do their secretions go into?
Into blood. Directly into the bloodstream.
Yes, directly into the blood. What is the other name of hormones?
Internal secretions.
Internal secretion.
Internal secretion.
Yes, internal secretions. I give you three keywords for hormones. Which was the first one?
Non-nutrient chemicals.
Non-nutrient chemicals. Very good, very good. Non-nutrient. What was the second one? What amounts?
Trace amounts.
Amounts. Excellent. And they are known as which messengers?
Intercellular messengers.
Where do we find more hormone secretion? In vertebrates or in invertebrates?
Vertebrates.
The first hormone was discovered by two people. What were the names?
William
Bell Starling.
E.H. Starling.
And Ernest.
What was the year? What was the year?
1900.
Too good. How do you define endocrinology? Study of what two things?
Study of endocrine glands and hormones secreted by them.
Very good. When we talk about the human endocrine glands, there are two types of endocrine glands. Just name them.
Endocrine
Pure and partial endocrine glands.
Partial endocrine.
Yes, those glands which are involved entirely for secretion of hormones, they are known as
Pure endocrine glands.
two examples of pure endocrine glands.
Hypothalamus,
Hypothalamus and
adrenal, thyroid, pineal.
Yes, there are some glands whose secretions reach to the epithelial surface through ducts. Such kind of glands are known as
Exocrine glands.
Though we don't have it in this PDF, but anyways, give me two examples of exocrine glands.
Salivary and
Mammary, mucus,
Then the third category, partially endocrine, partially exocrine. They are partial endocrine glands. Give me two examples.
kidneys, heart, placenta.
Yes. How many total endocrine glands if we draw in the human body?
10.
How many in the head region?
3.
How many in the neck region?
3.
And how many in the center, just below the, just above the abdomen?
2.